yeah, in that scenario, you know, it's yeah, they're not individually skilled like many of the other teams. Like they have probably as high an individual level, but you know, as many of the other teams. What I'm trying to say is that individually, their skill level compared to what level they play at is actually, you know, not that high. I'd say they're not one of the most individual skill teams, but they work really well together. And then nade usage is so good. And Inferno, in my opinion, is all about nade usage. Like T side, you want to just be forcing out nades from the CTs, and if the CTs use Molotovs and smokes to full effect, there is absolutely no way you can win.
If they get the chance to buy them.
That's the thing, and that's the thing we saw on Cash. They, you know, never got rounds on the CT side, so never had economy, so they could actually get nades. And E-Frag without nades is no E-Frag.
Yeah, their team play doesn't get that big of a impact as it could have. So CSGO.ONE could have a chance in that, but at the same time, we are trying to make E-Frag look weaker than they are. If you apply the same to CSGO.ONE, this could be a huge whitewash as well. E-Frag could roll over them if they get off to a good start on whichever, you know, if they get off to their own good start on the terrorist side, it's going to be really hard for CSGO.ONE.
Definitely, but you know, individual skill can usually be a bit fluctuating. Sometimes you've got a good day, sometimes you've got a bad day. But if you're a team relying on teamwork instead, you know, if you're a guy who relies on, well, if you're a team who relies on teamwork instead, you know, teamwork isn't that fluctuating. Usually, just you know how to communicate.
Makes you more consistent.
Exactly. But what we saw was that E-Frag kind of, you know, lost the first game down to the fact that they just got shot out of the server. Individually, they were just outperformed. And so with no nades, the teamwork is pretty hard. But we're getting into the game. I'll let you just, I've been talking for ages now, so go ahead.
That's our job in the end. So CSGO.ONE with a spread out start on the pistol round. They trade a few frags. That was still working for a second. Bubble is a little bit scaring away, trying to bait that Fox into pushing further, and that's actually going to be the case for that Fox. Now he gets caught off guard, but he still stays alive, and they had like so many chances to take him down. He still plays with them, and while his teammates are pushing deeper into the A bomb site, sadly his teammates couldn't really capitalize on the distraction that he caused on the B bomb site, and they're trying to get through to Archway, which they're successfully converting. So now it's a 3v2. Dreamer and Spyleader still standing. And now it's Dreamer under the fire in quad. Just staying alive there is the most important thing to do. The bomb has been planted, so the time is the big factor right now. They don't have a defuse kit. They have one more flash, but they can't really use it as of yet. Spyleader looking for that entry frag into the side as his teammate goes down. He's all alone and goes down to Nay. CSGO.ONE win yet another pistol. And I think that E-Frag won the pistols against Ancients, but I don't think they won any other pistol.
Yeah, we didn't cast the Ancients game, so it's a bit hard to know. But yeah, it felt like a bit of a weird round. Spyleader had so many opportunities to shoot some heads, and he just really didn't capitalize. So, as you said, it was good by Dreamer to just fall back and stay alive, because as soon as he goes down, the round is lost. But unfortunately, they couldn't really get back into it. And Spyleader, with his knife out, the shoulder peek in there, takes a bit of damage, but the information gained, you know, contra the damage is, you know, it's still a well played, you know, action by him. So CSGO.ONE are just edging their way up banana, but you see the grenade usage here already coming into play, and it's no wonder that the three players that can actually afford nades, they've bought smokes. I think there must have been four, because we've also got a smoke in mid. So they've also decided to mostly buy body armor, and that also is a bit telling. Because Tabu with his SMG and Flashy, you know, those two SMGs, if you don't have head armor, they can do massive damage.
Yeah, and 4 of those CTs don't have head armor. Sadly for them, Spyleader is going to be the first contact, and the CZ-75 brings in Bubble with the same frag of the same gun. The crossfire is coming to work for E-Frag, but now it gets disposed of by the terrorists, but they are quite low on HP. Nay and Taboo down to 26 each. Dreamer just working for his frag, doesn't find it though. NKL, but the Pito 50 kills off Taboo. Now it's Flash and Nay, the last man standing. The CT's on the retake. Flash gets one back, a good Flash, saves his life, and his teammate comes in with the AK kill. CSGO.ONE surviving that very scary situation.
Yeah, we saw the teamwork coming into play with the crossfire setup with Bobo and Spidey, and that gave them 2 entry frags. In that scenario, you really should be winning the round, and they didn't. Now, I think NKL had a bit of a misplay. He was playing in apps and kind of had to time it so that, you know, they knew he was in pit. He had got his teammate to bait, but he peeked too early, and he caught them when they had, you know, cover. Yeah. And in that sense, you know, he gives up the information of his whereabouts, and they had stacked the A bomb site, so there's a big chance they weren't even going to be looking for him. So he gives them crucial information about his whereabouts, and he gets nothing from it. He does help his teammate get a kill, but he could have just, you know, played it differently, and I think that would have been a better choice. But now the push is going to be coming on. Maeve takes the first frag and does not get the second. Victor quickly replies. He tries to take more, but Taboo is there with the mighty AK, and he takes him out quickly. Now the in-game leading again coming into play. You see the right call, 3 guys stacked on the wrong bomb site, and yeah, it's looking good for CSGO.ONE in this round.
Yeah, at least the terrorist start is quite firm for them. If they don't lose too many more players, their finances are looking quite okay as well. And it's up to the first rifle round and possibly the second, depending on how many guns the CTs bring to the next one, to really determine where this game could go. We could actually see yet another very bad start for E-Frag.
Yeah, it seems just to be the case. Now, we don't really know how the game versus Ancients panned out, but we know they won big, so they probably didn't have a bad start. Exactly. But, you know, you can't really take too much from this. They've won a pistol round. They should be picking up the first 3 rounds. But E-Frag need to step up here. They need this rifle round. T-side can be very hard on Inferno. A good Inferno team will just shut you out, and E-Frag needs to be that good Inferno team before CSGO.ONE is.
Definitely. Now, FAMAS for NKL, quite a few nades. Emphasis on the smokes, obviously, on a map like Inferno with those choice points on top of Banana. Quite an obvious choice, and Bubble will start it off with a frag into second mid, from top mid. So the CTs can fall back a little more defensively. They can let the terrorists work their way back into the round.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of the typical Inferno play here. They don't get the entry frag, so they go for B. And it's a very interesting setup, but it might just work, and it catches 2 players out. Spiley that almost gets the third as well, and that is fantastic. This should be pretty much a round in the bank for E-Frag. Maeve takes down 1, but Spiley there through the smoke, he does not care, and is all left to Flashy with only 20 HP.
The bomb is on the other side of the smoke on top of that, and they are already surrounding him with NKL, not pushing forward, so he really stays up with his play. He smokes him off on the bottom of Banana. Flash doesn't have a chance in this one. If he pushes through one side, he goes down for sure. If he pushes through the other side, he's going to go down as well. And 30 seconds on the clock, he has to go down. At one point, he has to go for the suicide move, and that's basically it. E-Frag with the first round, and they come alive as well. They try to cheer each other on with some shouting there, and I think that's going to play a big role.
They need to get, you know, the chemistry going. That's what they are so reliant on. The teamwork, the chemistry, as we already talked about. I don't want to just sit and say the same thing over and over again, because that gets boring, but it is just the case that for E-Frag, this is vital.
The mentality, yeah, they have to get back into the mood of winning. And it's definitely a mindset. Winning is a mindset. If you're thinking about, oh, we lost or blah, it's gonna stick in the back of your head. Now CSGO.ONE are definitely thinking about winning this round, but as always, they're getting smoked off on top of Banana, so they leave 1 player behind. They secure their backs, and E-Frag hang back for the next few seconds until the smokes fade. Then it will smoke off again, and CSGO.ONE have to have the right timing. They could have, for example, just ran in there, but obviously nobody was in position. Now, Rizis already pointed out that you kind of have to push through that smoke at one point, and trying to surprise E-Frag.
Yeah.
maybe they will
Here's
have
the flash
that right
come through.
time.
They are going to be just rushing through. But Victor in a great position. He takes out only one so far, but Spyleader gets 2 for himself, and then Victor picks up the AK. He's totally out of bullets, but 2 for both players. 2 apiece, and that's very good. Now, Dead Fox is going to get the bomb plant, and that is definitely not what they wanted. This round looks like a bit of a tall order, maybe a bit too much, and it does prove to be.
Yeah, he tried to pick the 1v1 fights. He smoked off CT spawn, went around the right corner of the boxes to have only 1 player lined up. His plan would have been to then walk around the left corner while the smoke is still smoking off CT spawn to make it another 1v1 duel. But it obviously didn't work out. So CSGO.ONE with the first safe round. And E-Frag about to draw this game at 3.
One thing I want to mention now that we have a short pause here is that the thing that makes E-Frag such a solid team, online they rarely lose against underdogs, and that is definitely one of the things that make them the team they are, because there are a lot of top teams where they're consistently good against other top teams, but when they play bad teams, then they just start losing. And one thing that is always the case with E-Frag, and it doesn't matter who they play, I bet they could be playing silvers in matchmaking, and they would still show respect. You don't ever see them go for these just random places where they come rushing, and they always have respect. And you saw it again with what you mentioned with NKL, pulling back, even though Flashy was locked in Banana. That's just the respect that we're talking about. So I think that's really one of the strongest points of E-Frag.
The discipline for the Bulgarian squad.
Definitely.
Even though the Eastern scene, the Eastern European scene, maybe not the Southeast European scene, but the Eastern scene is not really well known for its discipline. And certain players stick out there, come to mind, like Simple, for example, but let's keep talking about this game. It is obviously the anti-eco bash for E-Frag. Right now they didn't get too many chances of bashing. CSGO.ONE just take it very, very slow.
Yeah, and one thing I also want to mention here, we'll just use this eco round. We'll actually see what happens here. I don't think they're going to get much from this, but they're actually going to get 1 frag, and NKL, he's come up big. He only gets 1 so far. I guess the second gets taken out. There's maybe a gun too many to lose. Not that it matters too much to have decent economy, but you want to obviously have good economy, and losing 2 players to 3 clocks with no armor, that's probably too many.
Yeah.
But quickly, I want to mention, how many times we've actually seen E-Frag stand at off angles. Caught out of the open, but standing at an off angle so that whenever CSGO.ONE peaks an angle, they're not ready because they're in an off angle. We saw it on a Banana where there were 2 players just sitting in an off angle together.
Yeah, they're shoulder on shoulder.
Yeah, it was great stuff, and they did it later the same round, and that is massive. It's not something we see come into play too often, but it works for them. And off angles are definitely a viable strategy.
Another off angle, so to speak. They boost Victor up onto the box inside the B bomb site, something that we rarely ever see. I mean, he's not going for the close box to Banana, but he's staying on the second box inside the B bomb site. So despite his low HP, he should be able to do some damage to the terrorists in case they would go for B, which is not going to happen, as we can see ourselves.
But look at the grenade usage. The Molotov blocks them off, just delays them.
Yeah.
And the grenade comes in. These guys, the fundamental Counter-Strike, understanding of these guys, it's just so great.
Focusing on the basics is something that makes great teams be even better and more consistent throughout their careers. Now we have the 4v4 execution by the terrorist. Flash with the first frag. NKL not able to spot him just now. Took him very long to get the kill. Now he comes back right in time for the terrorists. The bomb goes through. Spyleader and Victor on the retake.
Spyleader already. Great lurk.
Yeah. Oh, he gets spotted by Maeve. Great covering by him from the apartments. Just keeping an eye out for his teammate Nay, who is in pit. So great crossfire by CSGO and just setting up like they do. And, well, Victor has no other option than to save.
Yeah. I think what they... Ooh, Victor! 2 good frags there to just... that's a bit of a, cream on top. It's very nice. But, I think E-Frag realized when they played Revolt that individually, you know, they can get outmatched in this tournament.
Yeah.
So what we see them do here is they're very disciplined, as we already talked about, the grenade usage, but also, you know, the reason why Victor plays the second oranges, the second boxes on B instead of the first one, we talked about the discipline, and here it just goes down the drain. Actually, Dreamer just charges down with Bubble, and the Bubble manages to find 2 frags, and Dead Fox takes down Dreamer. And now Enkel in a prime position to get 2 easy frags. That's well played by him and Flashy now, the last remaining player.
Yeah, they obviously didn't expect anyone to hang out in the bedroom in apartments due to the aggressive push by the CTs. They expected they to not be there, but it was once again an off position that E-Frag took, so to speak.
Yeah, it's an odd position at least.
Yeah.
But what I was trying to say is the reason why Victor gets boosted up in that position, you know, in the second oranges instead of the first, is because if they come running up and trying to take the beat side, he has a headshot angle instead. And that will not be something you usually see with the CT, because he plays an M4 and a headshot versus headshot.
Yeah.
If you headshot them, they have an AK, you know, it's not going to be very good. But Victor only had 12 HP, so if you only enable your opponents to headshot you and you've got low HP, then you can make more of that low HP that you have.
Yeah.
So it's again the fundamentals. They're doing it really, really well. They're making great decisions.
Yeah, and it's also paying them respect again.
Yeah.
But, I don't know how long E-Frag can pay that respect, because they're about to take the lead, and they already showed us that they're capable of already surprising CSGO.ONE with that aggressive push. It was really unexpected for the Hungarian squad. So the Bulgarians doing something to throw them off a little bit, to change their setup, to make themselves be less likely to be just zeroed in on their position.
Yeah, we see again 2 Molotovs come out, block the entrance to the B site, and then they get a smoke thrown into their face, which blocks the one guy, who then blocks the second guy, you know, and the train stops. I mean, the game is a bit slow. It's hard to kind of hype up, because, you know, every round is just played so slow, and it's not really any individual performances that are winning rounds for either team. But from an analytical standpoint, this game is amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot at stake as well. So the teams, they know how important this game is. CSGO.ONE, almost called him CSGO.ONE, CSGO.ONE already sitting at those 4 rounds. If they get 2 more, this is definitely more than they would have expected on the terrorist side against E-Frag. I mean, 5 rounds on the T side on Inferno is definitely okay. And 6 would be really good already.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to see the charge come through. They're actually going to be pushing through as well. There's an interesting flash. Bubble wasn't ready for this. He unfortunately can't land a single shot onto Taboo, who was very, very low. But it's the 2 Danes still standing alive, but not for long, as Spy Leader cleans up that mess that they made.
Again, they had an awesome timing on the smoke. They just completely smoked them off. Made it very hard for the players in the second and third row to support the players that came charging through. And that allowed Bubble to stay alive as long as he did, to really fully spray those 30 bullets in the AK magazine.
Yeah, and we also saw the terrorists group up, 3 people at second mid. They just received a straight Kobe right to the face, and it even killed one of them. It's just, oh, it's so beautiful to watch, really. But we'll see how they pan out now, or how this round pans out now that it's a rifle round. And it looks like Taboo is going to just be the man, but they're not expecting a third guy.
He didn't expect the third, yeah.
Yeah, it's just Spidey that's in-game leading that's too strong. And he's also dropping 14 frags in so far 11 rounds. He's really putting up a big performance. And it seems like ESL Southeast Europe Championship, it is just the tournament where the in-game leaders step up. Last season we had Sen, who also just played such an amazing tournament. And Spy Leader, we also had RML. So there's not really anything bad to be said about the in-game leaders of this tournament.
Not at all. So CSGO.ONE needs some in-game leading as well. They need to figure out where to go. The plan is to execute from apartments with 1 player coming in through short. And the CTs have quite a good crossfire if they make it work. Smoke in place, but NKL with the headshot onto Flash. Now it's Dreamer and Pit. He goes to work onto Ney as that Fox goes to work onto NKL. And Dreamer with a second to close it out. A very important round. CSGO.ONE had 2 save rounds in a row, something that we rarely see on the terrorist side in the first place. But due to the loser bonus being reset, they had to go for it. And now E-Frag winning this very important rifle round, setting CSGO.ONE back another step. And they are back on Tech 9s and 3 rifles.
If I were to guess, I'd say CSGO.ONE are not going to get any more rounds this half. E-Frag makes it look easy, and they're just locked out of the sights. There's no way in. Even if they win the battles like Taboo just did, you know, they still don't get much from it. And here we have a Molotov. We're going to try. They're going to be setting up for a rush. They're going to be setting up for an execute. Molotov comes out. They waste their flash, and they don't really have much to work with. This round they have a lot of nades since they decided to buy Tech 9s and Galils and whatnot, but you know, generally they're just wasting their nades because E-Frag makes them, forces them to.
Yeah, another smoke will slow them down again. The thing that could work in favor of CSGO.ONE, though, is the lack of information on the CT side. Well, definitely have the information, and there are a lot of terrorists on the other side of that smoke, and now they came charging through. 1-for-1 trade. Victor with the flames reaching out from the grave, taking Taboo down to hell with him. 3v3 right now as Bubble comes in through construction site. Very important part of the map to hold on to if you want to get this retake on the CT side, but they have to hurry up a little bit. The terrorists already got themselves into very comfortable positions. Bubble and Maeve will trade blows, make it a 2v2, and that Fox from Banana now. Dreamer knows there is nothing to do anymore. Even if he makes it a 1v1, that Fox can play the bomb, he can play the timer. He doesn't have to show. And yeah, Dreamer has to go for the duel. That Fox has to peek him, and it is going to go CSGO.ONE's way in the 1v1.
Yeah, and the crowd is obviously happy. It's the Hungarians once again coming on the board. Now that analysis I said with them probably not getting any more rounds, that's just...
Oh, the window straight away. They heard you say that probably.
Yeah, Caster's curse.
E-Frag heard you and say, okay guys, we can afford to give this round away now.
We need to make NATO look stupid.
No, but the home crowd advantage, something that you just mentioned, didn't help NAP yesterday against Luminosity.
Yeah.
But maybe it can make E-Frag a little more shaky if we hear the crowd come alive.
Oh, that's a great spray from Dreamer. And look at the stack again. There are 4 guys on A once again. I can't, you know, it's crazy how good they are at reading their opponents here. Victor, misplay perhaps, but he does actually make it out of there alive, and he also gets the kill. So, Flashy last man standing, he's going to be dropping in just a few seconds, I'm sure. Only 2 HP left. A very, very bad position. Might get the bomb plant. I think he will here. That's, you know, that's good news for his team.
Yeah, that's definitely working.
You know, the loose opponent is going to be reset, and yeah.
At least they have those 800 bucks in the bank, and they still walk in there. He could have had a slight opening, but obviously the CTs would have gotten the refrag straight away. E-Frag with the refrag possibility, make it 8-5, heading into the last 2 rounds of this half. CSGO.ONE struggling with their money. I think they can't really afford anything if they want to go for a full buy in the next one.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right decision. Chances are they're not going to be winning this round, but if they were, they reset the money for E-Frag, and then they're pretty much facing, you know, pistols next round. But it might be better to save for another rifle round, and we're going to see what happens here. A lot of unarmored opponents storming into Spy Leader. He's been instrumental so far in E-Frag's first half here. Victor also takes down one Spy Leader, helps him, but together, they just clean it up. Yeah,
the B bomb site has definitely been held on to quite nicely, even though they lost control sometimes. They at least held control of construction site and kept themselves an opening, you know. They didn't let the door be closed. They had that small gap to squeeze through and make the retakes happen.
Yeah, we'll see if Bubble goes for an entry PK. He might, and he will. He misses, unfortunately. And that's going to just, that's going to be good news for the terrorists who, you know, had they been going down so early in the round, it would have been heartbreaking, really.
Yeah, definitely something. In this last round of this first half, they want to get themselves fired up again. They want to go into the round with the mindset of, let's get this underway. But losing the first player would have been the setback again.
And another off angle here from Victor. We'll see how this pans out. They're going to be putting a flash. There's another smoke, you know. It's not the best of smokes, but it makes Tabo pull away, and they decide to not go for the B site. So yeah. Again, we have a Molotov on mid. They're timing this so well that they can't really find an entrance on any side.
Yeah, at the same time, they Molotov middle, so just a few seconds later, so they expected the terrorists to If they are not going B, maybe they will execute onto A straight away. So let's better smoke and Molotov both of those sites away so they can't go anywhere. Now they snuck through to A long. Victor with the opening frag on B, however, and Maeve opens up the A bomb site, cuts off the 2 rotators, and the B bomb site is about to be crunched in by the terrorists from both sides. The bomb is on the way. Victor on 6 HP only. He has to hold his own. There is nobody to support him with. He's getting back up from Banana, but it takes a lot of time to come there. And it is a 3v2 with Flash on 4 and DeadFox on 23. The bomb is taken in favor of the terrorists, however, and Bubble still has a smoke to block him off. The same goes for Dreamer. They have to hold their horses for now. CSGO.ONE try to find out where the CTs are coming from. They have to stay put. They have to stay away as long as possible. And as soon as the CTs expose themselves, they have to flash in, and there they come. Nay and DeadFox with the final kills, 9-6. CSGO.ONE get those 6 rounds on the board, and that's definitely a decent halftime score.
That's something you can work with, yeah. But it is E-Frag's map pick, so it's going to be interesting to see what they have in store on the T side. If you pick a map like Inferno, it's usually because you have something special in store. It is a map where there's a lot of creativity possible. There's a lot of faking going on. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of faking possibilities. And, you know, we didn't really see that from CSGO.ONE, not too much of it. So we'll see what happens here now that E-Frag are on the T side.
Yeah, we didn't see too much apartment play, for example, by CSGO.ONE. Well, they got shut down by E-Frag, but let's see. E-Frag is on the way through apartments. They already put a lot of pressure on the A bomb site, making CTs rotate and putting Taboo deeper into Banana. Now let's see what the terrorists can make out of that plenty map control they have right now.
Yeah, and what we see is that the T players are pushing up on A site to try to force some rotations on, and they've done just that. Now the play is actually going to be coming into B, it seems, but delayed, and then the bomb is going to go in A, so faking possibilities, they've definitely tried to utilize it here.
It's kind of a triple fake, and it works out
Victor.
perfectly. Wow. Victor just victorious about all his duels. 2v3 though, as Maeve holds it together for the CTs. They have to re-rotate, and it must be so annoying for CSGO.ONE to have to rotate back and forth and not knowing where to go after all.
Yeah, and Victor looking to see if he can find another. He cannot. So now it's actually a 2 versus 2 situation. Unfortunately, the CTs don't really have any diffuse kits, meaning that the time is kind of running out of their grasp here. Dreamer in a good position, and they might not even know he's here. Maeve in the position to spot it, but he's actually watching Taboo. Can he find him, though?
Oh, the body
he does
shield.
eventually. Oh, wow. If he had run out of bullets there, that would have been heartbreaking,
yeah.
but he does make it work, and it's a very good 1 versus 2 clutch by Dreamer. A shame, you know, that Maeve couldn't hit the headshot, because that would have been an amazing turnaround.
And the meat shield didn't quite work as well as he would have liked it to. Still, CSGO.ONE won the terrorist pistol. Now E-Frag won the terrorist pistol. They can still work with that. They have to keep that in mind, though. They can't look at the scoreboard right now and see, oh, 10-6 down. We are about to lose this or something. They have to keep in mind, guys, we won 6 rounds on the terrorist side. They are on 1 only right now. We can definitely come back. And they have a 4-man stack on B.
Take it 1 round at a time is what you would be doing in this scenario. Now, what is kind of, you know, challenging the meta of some sort is that CSGO.ONE have decided to not buy armor at all, and I think it's just because they want to be buying FAMASs in the 3rd round here, so we'll see how that works out for them. But E-Frag are just reading this so well, except the fact that they might be going B, where they're actually stacked up. But they have a lot of map control, and with a lot of map control, you know, you can more easily play into sides, and Bubble has got the position of dreams. If they can run in through CT, they're not going to check his position, and he should be getting pretty much every single kill if he plays it right. But they're going to be going for a bit of an information play, and it is rightly timed, as they have just started planting the bomb.
Yeah, they kind of excluded all the different positions, and now they should roughly estimate where the CTs could come from. And somehow Maeve managed to sneak through, but there is a 2nd line of defense. Spy Leader puts him down. Victor with another frag. It's DeadFox, Taboo, and Flash. Sort of homage to Berg or Freiberg.
Definitely.
The Flash.
Who knows? Taboo is trying to see if he can get a bit of spray in, but he only takes down 1, and that is NKL. So 11-6 in favor of E-Frag at the moment, and it is the T side. If there's one, side where you want to try and build momentum and where it's like, more easily possible, I'd say it's the CT side. But they have not decided to go for a force buy this round either, so they just want to make sure that when E-Frag gets on 12, they have as good guns, if not better.
Yeah, and the amount of nades that we talked about earlier. They probably want to go for Molotovs and, well, incendiary nades in that case, and the smokes.
Yeah.
To hold them off as long as possible.
Sounds very likely. They have, though, purchased a few nades here, but they haven't really been using them very well. And that's the difference between an experienced team and a not-so-experienced team. Now, E-Frag, they're very good at not over-rotating. They're very good at using their nades correctly. And using that smoke, for example, means that Maeve can't see that they're now coming around Arch again, but it still causes a lot of rotations. And this would have been a great fake, but they are now caught out. They're actually caught between a rock and a hard place here.
Yeah, might be crucial. If the CTs get a few more frags there, and they will, they make it a 3v3, a 3v2 now as Ney steps it up with his triple kill off the P250. Victor and Dreamer have to stick together and plant the bomb, cover each other as well as possible. The CTs could actually just pick up the guns and go for a save, but obviously they have tasted blood. They want to get some more.
Definitely, but I'd still say that this is advantage for the Ts, especially when they're playing this slow. They still don't have any kits. They don't really have very good rifles, and they don't have armor, so the Ts have superior positioning, the bomb plant to play with, and now also the round.
Yeah, and you might have been able to hear the scream. E-Frag is firing themselves up a little bit. The 3 rounds, they know how crucial this one will be, and how close they already are to the finish line. But it is fooling us all, because it's 12-6, but it's just the 3 opening rounds. CSGO.ONE have everything they want to work with in this determining weapon round.
Yeah, and that smoke is just the most annoying smoke you can throw on Inferno, except for maybe the bottom banana smoke. But for an AWPer, you can't really help your mate if they come around short, and you can't really peek anywhere. You can't play close to the smoke. There's just nothing you can do. That is such an annoying smoke, but they are going to be putting up their own now, and it's going to be a bit better for him.
Right back at you, E-Frag, says Ney. Tosses out his own smoke. The terrorists are taking control of apartments right now, and they want to... Once again, they play the map control game. They did it in the first 3 rounds, obviously because it was also anti-ecos. But now they want to find out where the CTs are. They want to neglect as much information as possible. And they want to make it really hard for the CTs to go for the rotations. Now that Fox has spotted one, but he can't call in. His 2 CT team members stay at B until they have spotted the bomb.
I'm not sure if that was a bit of a missing smoke, but at least it kind of blocks off the wrong point there. They wanted to block off Dead Fox, who's now going to just be taking down 2 players with the open NKL, trying to see if he can get inside. Can't quite land the shots and then gets taken out from behind, but Bubble gets one, gets the second as well. There's 2 great headshots now. He's going to get the bomb down, and Dreamer, we know he's got the aim to land this shot, and he just needs to not get caught out with his off, and he doesn't. So it's still a live 2 versus 3 situation, and the CT's on a retake.
Yeah, they don't want to give this away. They don't want to let E-Frag go to the 13-6. So they flash each other in. They are really close to Pit, but Bubble with his 3rd frag already. Dreamer puts a bullet to the cranium of Taboo. It is a 1v1. Dead Fox with a triple kill in the back already. He knows where his opponent is, and he puts him out of the round. Dead Fox on the defuse, and it will go through just in time. CSGO.ONE win this crucial round. Quad kill by Dead Fox. A no-scope in Archway. That is exactly what they needed.
A fantastic individual performance, but it seems like CSGO.ONE is pulled up by individual performances, and when they can't do that, it gets hard for them. So we'll see what they can, keep building on this, but I felt it was a great play by Dreamer to, when Dead Fox took the battle on Bubble, he changed his positioning so he was on the other side of Pit.
Yeah.
But the problem was that he then didn't, crouch, he didn't hide. So Dead Fox, when he jumped, could actually see Dreamer, and then he won the duel. Had Dreamer just sat down behind the truck there, he wouldn't have been able to be spotted, and he would have gotten the kill.
Yeah, those are the small differences at skill level that actually win and lose rounds. Now it is Victor and Dreamer with a very swift A execution, just completely demolishing the CT's defenses over there, and CSGO.ONE realize, okay, we might have made it last time around, but this time it's a 5v3. We'd rather save our stuff. And I don't know what Ney said there.
I'm not really so good at Hungarian, not gonna lie. Surprising to some, I assume. But Dead Fox, he's been he's been hard carrying his team so far in this match. And, you know, the really annoying thing if you're playing a CT Open Inferno is the fact that if the T's just, you know, get a lot of rounds, you obviously don't have very good economy. And it's usual that you will be the guy rotating all over the place. But if they hit the site where you are not on, which is a big thing on Inferno, a good in-game leader plays around the AWP so you don't run into him on Inferno. And if they can keep doing this, just like they did, Dead Fox will be either saving every round or having no impact kills. He needs to go and hunt, and he needs to go aggressive every single round if he wants kills, if they play this correctly. And I'm curious to see how he'll handle it and how they will.
Yeah, he tried to go aggressive. Sadly for him, there was nothing to be picked off, at least in middle. Now the terrorists tried the same execution again. Flash this time will shut them down, a triple kill. They didn't even know where he was, or at least NKL didn't know that he was exposed to Flash. Picks up the quad kill before he goes down to Bubble. It is a two-man advantage for the CTs. The bomb is not in the hands of Bubble, but he already dealt a lot of damage in the previous rounds, and they will peek him. Dead Fox was trying to find some information. Luckily for the CTs, Maeve is, well, he is going for the same peek, but at least he got the frag.
Bubble actually saw Maeve standing there, but when Dead Fox peeked, he thought that was the guy playing there. So he kind of mixed up the two players, and that actually won CSGO won the round. I feel pretty certain they would have won the round nonetheless, but still it's fun to notice. And you know, instead of actually watching Maeve's position, he just watched the total opposite, and that killed him.
So CSGO.ONE have to hold on to this just a little longer. 5 more rounds to go, and then they are on 13-13. But E-Frag can throw them off a little bit. You know, they have those rounds to spare with, and that makes the terrorist side so dangerous. They don't necessarily need to win every single one, so they can go for a stupid rush just to throw it in, just to do some damage, throw the CTs off, and they just swiftly execute into the B-bombs, and the CTs can't put up the resistance just now, but Taboo with the double headshot draws it away from the terrorists. As they're going for the plant, the CTs need to hurry up. If the terrorists get into comfortable positions, this could be a very hard retake, even though they have 4 players alive.
I have absolutely no clue how Victor survived that. He got a Molotov thrown at his face with 11 HP, and now he's on 1. It's crazy stuff, but he manages to stay alive for now. A good nade comes in from Dreamer and Spidey. It's an amazing peek, well timed. Now he needs to find more. He does. He finds them all. He does it. 4 kills in a 3 versus 4. And that might just be the game changer. Spy Leader
stepping it up, and as I said, it might get very, very hard for the CTs. Even though it was a 4v3 retake, Spy Leader just used the crossfires, used his teammates, and the CTs were completely distracted. They couldn't overwhelm him in the end. E-Frag are up 14-8, and I kind of know why Victor didn't die because of the Molotov. He's on fire himself. Look at his scoreline.
I think it's because he jumped up on the grill and he wanted just to be like barbecued, I guess. But didn't really.
Maybe he's also ice cold.
Could be both, man.
So CSGO.ONE with a save. E-Frag could make it 15-8 and win this first map. Remember, it's a best of 3, so it's not over for the Hungarian squad. They will still have a chance to come back in this game. As the analysts predicted, Inferno would be E-Frag's map, Overpass would be CSGO.ONE's map, and Train would be a surprise package.
Yeah, so we're going to be seeing what that surprise is going to be contributing with in this best of 3. Now Taboo, he really needs to find a frag or 2, and he finds one, can't find the next though, and that's a bit unlucky for him. He tries to just upgrade his gun, and then Ney actually finds a frag that's not even the guy he's shooting for, and Flashy comes out and finds 2, and he spotted the remaining player, but NKL also know that Flashy is lurking, I think, possibly? I don't think he knows.
He just missed him, and they missed each other. Flash is not even going for the frag. He must have heard NKL step around. Now he knows where NKL is. But they take turns in peeking him. It's a crucial situation. NKL knows that Maeve is right in front of him, but it's still not enough. The Dane comes out on top and saves the day for CSGO.ONE. This looked like such a sure deal.
The Great Dane. I felt
Isn't
that
a dog?
Yeah, I think it is.
It is.
That's why it felt appropriate. We've got a very short pause. The player's already back, but briefly, I just want to talk about how Flashy was sitting inside. Flashy knew where NKL was. I think he knew he crossed because Maeve was putting a pop flash into mid, and the only reason he'd do that would be if he thought that he might have crossed. Now, Flashy then peeked NKL, and NKL didn't even know Flashy was there. But Flashy just shot, blanks. He didn't hit at all, and gave up his positioning. Even he didn't actually go down, but it could have cost them the round. And it's just those really little things that can just change a whole game. Because that one round could, that would mean that E-Frag gets on match point, and it's very likely that Spyleader would have won it had he taken down Flashy. There's an abundance of opportunities for the guy if he gets into a 1 versus 1.
Plus, it is a very huge mental blow. If you get yourself into the 2v1 in a safe round and you can't take it home, it's like, oh no, we got so close of upsetting them. So it's kind of putting you back again, even though you shouldn't have won the round anyway. But still, it is kind of a huge bummer for you. Now CSGO.ONE could get closer on the scoreline, but the terrorist E-Frag is going for the same B execution they used already. Taboo is the stopping point of that, and Maeve has caught fire as well. The triple kill is real. E-Frag is not going to climb the bomb either, so the Hungarians close the gap.
We might as well sit and talk about E-Frag's, the weaknesses was the word that I was looking for. E-Frag are such a great team, but it seems that whenever they actually get up to the B site, they do a very good job at flashing out Maeve, smoking off the CT spawn so that Maeve pulls back, but then they just can't kill Taboo. They can't kill him quickly enough so that they can actually use that for anything but bobble. A great 1D. Ooh, also managed to survive the fire there. So a kill to the good now are the Bulgarians, who will be looking for more.
Definitely, just doing some damage. There is another cheeky frag by Spiley that just, oh, another one goes his way. 2v5, Maeve and Taboo need to, what do they need to do right now? They can't possibly think that they could retake, so they have to save, but considering the scoreline, a save is not really an option, but they still have to do it.
Yeah, as you say, it's really not an option. Any other round, they would have never gone for this save. But, well, yeah, they might have, in this same scenario, of course, but it's just, it feels awkward. They had a lot of time to even rotate, but there's no reason to. But it's kind of the case, that's why Inferno can be really annoying to play as a counter-terrorist, because if just one bomb site gets hit a lot and they keep losing it, you're just going to be sitting and you might as well go into community service and type retake and play that instead, because you're just running around the map trying to retake sites every single time. And it's so frustrating because at the same time, every single battle that you get into is, disadvantageous. So you will not get many kills because you're in very bad situations every single time you get a proper battle, and you don't really get, anybody coming to you. You have to kind of play the terrorist game.
That's just one upset following the other one in rounds this time. We had it in games before with Revolt. Now we have it in tiny little pieces, served in slices like a pizza. E-Frag is eating them up right now. 5 map points, not match points. Remember, we have overpass the map pick of CSGO.ONE coming up after this one. So they still have a chance, and they still have 5 chances to take it to overtime. Now, they can't afford to have holes in the defenses like they did in the previous round when Spiley just snuck through.
I'm just curious, who slices a pizza in 5 slices? You talked about they were eating them up, but
yeah, 5 slices. I don't know how you would cut 5 slices. It's probably really clumsy to cut them, but
yeah. But they need something magical. 5 slices seems pretty magical for a pizza, in my opinion. Deadfox with a very good pop flash. He doesn't actually blind anybody, and Victor is going to take him down quickly. But you know, 2 players in pit, this might prove too hard for the terrorists, and Tabu with a great rotation very early on there. Just gonna get the bomb plant already. Maeve coming in from behind is low, so if he drops, then that is very hard. Ima, necessary peek there, and Bubble does actually get one. Maeve spotted out. Spidey gets him. It's a 100 HP player versus 100 HP. And Tabu is just going to stick it. He's just sitting in the smoke. Can Spidey to make? He's got the kid as well. And Tabu actually gets it. What an amazing piece of play. He even jumps out, goes down in the end. But, you know, he's like, my work here is done. I'm getting out of here.
Wow, I really expected Spidey to go big again. And I kind of saw it in front of my eyes already. And then I saw him stick the bomb, and he was so far away, and then he sprayed the box instead of the player. Huge bummer for E-Frag, but they still have enough chances. The bomb plant will help them to get some more money.
What are they doing? Why is there no one on B side?
I don't know.
The
it was
B side is clear.
prediction play by CSGO.ONE, and it didn't really work.
Wait, I've never seen this before. This is a very weird play, and now they have to retake a bomb site 5 versus 5.
It's gonna be a slaughter.
They've still got 3 guys in apps.
Yeah, and they have to do it. There is no... And Dreamer is down below in Banana. He gets the first 2 frags already. Makes it so much harder. He retreats even further, gets the 3rd. Maeve and that Fox, the last man standing. The last hope is that Fox, and he is going down as well. E-Frag make it 16-11 on the first map. But what a struggle, what a huge exchange. Great performance by both teams, but E-Frag just prevailing on the terrorist side.